What's up, guys? This is JTQ9 of Ssx-1, and welcome back to the channel. Season 46, War number 11. We are getting so close to the end of this godforsaken season. And I've got another fun war for you guys if you like seeing me die. This is unbelievable. And these fights here that I'm going to explain in detail as to what happened and whatever, are some of the more frustrating things because I've actually taken these fights a lot in the season and have never had any option or any issues with them. And then all of a sudden we get to, I don't know, like a change of an AI or just, anyway, it's going to be absolutely absurd. So anyway, this first fight, you can't do anything when he throws the specials to get the heal block on, so I take the degen. But it's a pretty easy fight. You get the passive cold snap on, one or two of them, and then Dragon Man is dead. The same thing happens here with Kingpin. The idea is to just get the passive cold snaps on him, try to keep it up for as long as possible, maybe get a heavy where you can push him up against the wall, or just continuously throw the SP1. And yeah, there's not a lot to this fight. So I've taken both these fights once or twice this season, and haven't had any issues with these ones. So there's nothing really to write home about. So when I said, should I have stayed on the bench, referencing my last video where I only had 2 fights when I went deathless in those 2 fights at least, and we ended up beating up on Salty. This one here is against SGA, so these guys are also ahead of us in the standings. I believe now I think they're 2nd overall, or 3rd. I think they're 2nd. So for us, we've got a really tall task right now. Like if we win this one, we're basically guaranteed top 10 Masters, which is huge. But we'll get to that. So this Sandman versus Absman. So I have referenced several times, for whatever reason, that Absman on this particular node has given me all kinds of trouble this season. Or sorry, Absman in general. I think I've died to him maybe 4 or 5 times. And this one here is another one of those situations where I don't understand what happened. Like, I would get the Petrifies on, they would kind of stay close, and then as I'm trying to, so that was one there, like I didn't need to necessarily knock him down because he hasn't been refined yet. Same thing in this situation here, but I do that anyway. So the mistake I made here on this particular situation was that every time I knock him down, I'm gaining a Fury charge that'll then feed his MD. So that was not ideal, and now I'm not able to get the Petrifies on him to get the heal up as much as I'd like. So, and more or less, I'm just getting cornered. Like, you're never in a good situation when you're cornered. I mean, I'm still managing to throw and get, like, 19 Petrifies on. But, I don't know. I couldn't back myself out of this situation. So, I was worried about taking Incinerate damage, as you can see, as I'm getting close. And then I kind of just walked myself into a corner and died. So, again, a very, very frustrating fight. That's something that shouldn't have happened. So, you're going to see in the cleanup what goes well and how it should have been played from the beginning. Like one of the biggest mistakes was I maybe didn't start with the 5-hit combo to push him back to gain some kind of space on my side of the screen. And then what I was doing was I was only trying to knock him down through a heavy after he was refined. So basically with Abman's, when he's refined, so you see there Black Uru refined, so then I deactivate it so I wouldn't take the damage. So basically what happens is that if he throws the same special twice, so if he's already in Uru mode and then throws another Uru special, that's how you become refined, and that's where I was trying to knock him down. So in this situation here, I elected, instead of doing heavy things, I just kept the Petrifies up, and he ended up melting down. I was paying way more attention to not push him past the SP2, and just like that, I come out of the fight without any damage. So again, another death on the season that I'm extremely frustrated with, because I've taken this fight before and I know what to do, and it was poorly executed. Now this next one, this one here really ticked me off. So this fight here I've taken 6 or 7 times, and you're gonna see some of the worst AI I've ever seen on this particular fight. So I'm getting my shocks up. I'm doing 3-hit combos to try to keep the placebos down. So she's just over 2 bars of powers. And now I start trying to bait specials. I try to bait specials. She throws a heavy. I'm still trying to bait specials. Nothing happening. Throwing special. Okay, baiting special. Come on, anytime now. Throw a special. Please throw a special. No? Okay, you still don't want to throw specials? Awesome. Okay, that's great. Let's just get pushed to an SP3 and then basically die. So I was like, wow, that was great. I've taken this fight 6 times, 7 times, never had this issue. So I was like, okay, maybe it was my fault. Maybe I was a jerk for not having an invul boost on. But I wanted to get the fight done quicker, so that's why I kept the APB on. So I was like, okay, I'm going to put the invul boost on, and we're going to see what happens. So again, it takes a little bit longer to get to my crit shock, and I'm trying to do kind of 3-hit combos to keep the placebos, like to stay away so placebos don't get on me, so she doesn't get kind of that extra kind of health, or I guess the equivalent would be like Mystic Dispersion. So I throw my first SP1, which is great. So now I have the crit thing, but now she's at 2 bars of power. It's like, okay, gonna throw a special again, right? Are we gonna throw a special again? No, and now I'm getting cornered. And I'm like, great. Well, I've got an invul boost on, so I was like, okay, I'm going to push her to the SP3 because it shouldn't do any damage, and then I'll be able to just kind of reset and take the fight down. But then look at the bleed. I'm ticking at 10,000 ticks per second with the invul boost on and almost die again. So that leads me back to, okay, well, invul boost is clearly not the right play because even if she does go to SP3, I'm dead regardless, unless she has like very little health left. And then with the PS1, at least I could get the crit shocks on faster and end the fight faster. So anyways, I was just extremely frustrated with that fight, that she didn't want to throw any specials other than the SP3, and extremely frustrated. So on this one here, this was another fight that I was a little concerned with. The idea is to get the Petrifies up and to stay close to him as much as possible, and then when he throws the SP1, where I'm going to be rooted, to still try to stay close and evade it. So the more Petrifies I have up, because he's going to be regenerating at a ridiculous rate, the idea is that I'm just going to try to stay as close as possible and have him melt. I mistime a hit there, so now I'm backing off. I'm losing my Petrifies, and as you see, he's going to start to regen like crazy. So I take a hit there, backed out. Anyway, so I end up dodging that. So he ended up getting back up to about 45% health, which is not terrible. I got my Petrifies back on. I knew that I needed to get to 11 hits before throwing my 4-hit SP1. End up pushing him past anyway to, again, get the Petrifies up to be able to reverse this healing and take him down. So that fight there could have gotten ugly. It just, well, it's a tough fight, but fortunately with Sandman, he reverses it. So anyways, all to say, I was a little disappointed with that, but happy to say that we did end up coming out with the win, 13-9 against SGA, and that puts us to 8-3 in the season. So that basically guarantees us top 10. I don't think we can get top 3 now, only because we still have Salty and SGA, I believe, above us, and we need some miracle to happen and some docking stuff, which I'm not counting on. So all to say is that despite this shitty personal season of 50 kills and 15 deaths now. Oh my god, that's so embarrassing. We're still 8-3. So I know I cost us 1 war, so did that cost us top 3? Maybe, possibly, I don't know. We'll never know at this point. But we move on. We keep our head up. We plug away. We're going to practice a ton in the off-season to make sure that we get these champs down, that the tactic champs or the ones I've been using a lot of, to make sure that there's no mistakes. And we move on. So thank you guys for tuning in, and we will catch you on the next one.